What's up, everybody? I'm here with Glennen Quyn. He's the CEO of CalPro, Pest, and Home Inspection, right? Two companies?
Two companies.
Yep. Two companies. He runs an amazing business. He's out of California in the Sacramento market,
Yep.
right?
And Bay Area, San Francisco.
It's a beautiful area, and you do a lot of really unique things within your business. I'm really excited for this because this is the first podcast that we've had where both guests have dreadlocks on it. And this is fantastic. So right off the bat, this is like a milestone podcast, but we're not going to stop there. So let's talk a little bit about your business. Tell me like where it got started. You got a pretty awesome story.
Yeah, thanks, man. I've been a bartender for 20 years, then started a family. It just got too old. Working nights, and so I just really wanted to have a day job. So the home inspection thing just kind of fell in my lap, figured it out. I started my business in 2009 and scaled it up over the years, man. 2 years ago, we were at about 70 employees doing home inspections, and we added Termite about 4 years ago. And now we're really looking into pest control to see how we can scale that up and have a bigger presence in the market.
Mm-hmm. So was there any type of business ownership, entrepreneurship that you had before CalPro? You just jumped in.
Nah, I just jumped in, man.
I love it.
But you know what? Now looking back, I think it's the customer service. It's about understanding people. It's about caring for people and doing the right thing. And you put all that together, I mean, you can start any business,
Yeah.
But, I'm really excited that I got into this business, and it's thrived and it's scaled, and obviously there are ups and downs, and that has led me into learning more about, entrepreneurship and business ownership and leadership. And because at the end of the day, it's about the people who you have to build your company, and those are the ones who actually are going to provide the services or take care of our customers, which, help build our business. And
So take me back to that first year when you started the business up. Like, what was going on in your mind where you're like, yep, I'm going to do this? And what'd you have to overcome in like the first 6 months?
Yeah, it was actually, it was fun, Just, it's such a new thing, and I was excited for the challenge. Honestly, now looking back, I'm like, it's such a challenge, and it's challenge over challenge over challenge. But it was just a new thing. It was just a bartending gig, and all that was just getting old, and just wanted to get into it. And I'm like, dude, I pulled so many fake it to make it. It's not even funny. I mean, I became a home inspector reading books and, no construction experience. And that was something at that time when I talked to agents who are my customers, who would refer me to a customer who bought a house. The first question was, are you a contractor? How much construction experience do you have? That was my number one challenge. I didn't know about it until I actually went through this entire process and actually got into the business, right? So I'm like, dude, I had to do all these, online courses, spent an entire year on studying.
Yeah.
I was in college, 3 kids, and working a night job. And I had to kind of figure all this stuff out. But to me, it was a necessary thing that I committed to, and I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, whatever it takes. So the first 6 months was chaos, just a learning experience, But, I went in there and got it done, and they taught me a lot of lessons that that's what business and success is about. It's like your lessons, your failures, and learning from it and trying to do better. And I did that for 6 months, and quickly, I grew my business to a point that, hey, now I need employees.
Within 6 months?
Well, not within 6 months.
When did you hire your first employee then?
Oh my gosh, 3.5, 4 years into it.
What prompted that?
Well, again, I was a bartender. I went to school for aviation. It's a very technical job, right? So I didn't know how to hire. I didn't know when to think about even like, when do I need an employee? I had no business background, no management.
Gabe, the wizard, brought it all back together. We had some additional noise added, but we're back with Glennon, and we're going to pick it right back up. So we were talking about when you hired your first employee, right?
Yeah.
And we'll a little bit about that process. So how quick, like my question is, how fast was it between your first employee and your second one?
Yeah, great question. First employee was kind of default. I didn't really think about it. I was super busy. I had more work than I could handle. And I was thinking, because hiring a guy to be an inspector takes training, which I don't have any clue how to do. So I thought, you know what, let's think about the efficiency side. How can I knock out more inspections in a day? So I thought, okay, if there's someone to help me, that would speed up the process. I could fit in more inspections and get more jobs done per day. So I hired a guy just to help me with stuff. So, and then he was helping me for about 6-7 months maybe. And as I saw that he was getting better at what he's doing, I proposed to him that, hey, maybe I'll do a little bit of extra training on the software. And very quickly he became an inspector. And then he started taking jobs, and then he got busy very quickly, within 6 months maybe. So now we're having a capacity issue. So now I put my thoughts together and was like, you know what? I just hired my first employee. Let's make that process more efficient, and let's try to see if I can train someone in a shorter period of time. So that's when I hired my next guy and took him on jobs and figured out on my own, how can I make this person an inspector? So yeah, I made that happen within probably 4 to 6 months, which now we do in 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, which is nuts. I was just gonna. So that ability to accelerate the learning and condense it down to that little bit. Now you can do it at scale instead of having to onboard people and wait for 6 months to have them produce revenue. Like, that's a tough thing to support from a growth standpoint. So the termite portion you guys kind of added in after the fact. Was that because there was alignment there already with the home sales, or like how did all that part work for you?
Yeah, I was at a point that we had about 8 or 9 inspectors at that point, 10 years into the business. And in California, the real estate market typically requires a property inspection and a termite inspection. And I thought, hey, there's a gap we have, and there's lost opportunities. So you need a license to be a termite business operator. So I did not have that. So I started thinking about, hey, how can I make this happen? But it was an opportunity, and I was not going to let barriers limit me from it. So I got creative and, I hired a guy with a license. And because every other company that I knew of, owner-operator was licensed. So this was a new approach for me and in our market. And I hired a guy with a license, and we started Termite. Within a very short amount of time, that was pretty much running as its independent division, with a manager, assistant manager, and several technicians. Just because there was
so much synergy there already, it made it really easy to grow that division.
Yeah, because every home inspection we did, pretty much we get a termite inspection. So very quickly, we launched it and scaled it very fast and took a lot of market share. And so that's basically what we did.
And then now you're kind of doing a similar iteration with adding pest control.
Right. So
trying to.
Termite was very, very complementary to our business model in real estate. So we launched that, and pest control was just kind of sitting in the side. We marketed that just because we had a termite technician. On his downtime, he could take a few pest control customers. So we marketed to our home inspection customers, and offered pest control. And then, like I said before, it was just a side gig. But with the real estate ups and downs that we experienced before COVID, during COVID, and with the interest rate hikes and, ups and downs, it was very volatile. So I'm like, dude, there's a gold mine that I'm sitting on, which I'm not taking any action on. And that's where I need to go after. So we're putting a lot of effort and energy into scaling that business. And I really love seeing the 5-year vision of, it took me 16 years to bring the home inspection company here. And during that journey, I've learned a lot about managing employees, culture, and mindset, and just the grit. And all those necessary things as an entrepreneur and business development. So now I'm far ahead. Pretty much we're launching a brand new business. But I'm pretty confident with the knowledge that I've gained over time and the team that we have and the systems and processes that we have in place. We can handle $3 to $5 million pest control company. So we're just really going after it because it's a great business model. It's not volatile, recession proof, unlike the home inspection. And we have a great referral base from the home inspection.
Yeah,
so
it's a natural lead source already.
It's a great way to scale the business. So now we're really leaning into developing our skills in the pest control field.
Just accelerating that whole process. So when you're thinking about your business, is it kind of just one thought, or are you thinking about it like in silos of these different service offerings?
That's really interesting because at first it was all about home inspection. And when you branch out to different verticals, now you're thinking about two whole different things. And that takes mental capacity. And that's actually a challenge in itself. And now you're actually broadening your capacity for your time commitment, your knowledge commitment, your complexities that come with business and organizational structures and all these different things. But I think we find a lot of synergies within, and we're trying to just perfect that. And I think it's a great model that not too many companies have. And I'm excited for the challenge and trying to figure this out to develop a scalable model that we can have these synergies, work together, have a lot of economies of scale, and
you're doing some really unique stuff, man. I love how you're just like seeing the opportunity within your business and then kind of exploiting it. Like that's what allows things to really expand and grow, right? Is when you pursue those things that are kind of the focal point, really, instead of just like knowing it's there and it's something that could happen, but nobody does anything. You've done it a few times where you realize it and then you just put your foot on the gas. So is that kind of just how you are in general, where when you do something you're just gonna really, really do it? Or is that something you've had to develop like as a business owner?
Yeah, I think it was definitely in my core. I grew up in Sri Lanka, and the fundamental principles apply to all success, I think, right? But you're right. I think that's something that I had, but I never discovered it until I actually started looking for it. So, I'm more of a, hey, let's focus on one thing, inch wide, mile deep. And, not too long ago, I was looking at all these different shiny objects, right? Oh, we can get into construction. I have a construction license. Remodeling is off the roof. Everybody needs a contract. But then, I'm like, let's just focus on one thing and look at opportunities. Because with everything, I think if you look enough, you can find plenty of opportunities and you can really scale that. So that's what I've committed. In the home inspection side, we have a lot of opportunities and we're going after that. But I'm so excited. It's almost like, oh, you're starting a new business. I feel like I'm going back to that excitement of starting the home inspection company, but with a much higher knowledge, risk
IQ,
tolerance, and business IQ, and a great network that I've developed over the years, and so many resources to find knowledge and connections and things like that you need in business if you want to scale and be successful. It's about your tribe. It's about who you surround yourself with. And I developed that over time. So I'm like, yeah, let's stick to one thing and let's really go after it and let's really do it well, instead of just kind of going after a lot of things and doing it half-assed.
When you chase 2 rabbits, you catch none instead of chasing 1 rabbit and catching 1.
Exactly. Right.
So I want to be respectful of your time. I know you got to get going here, but appreciate you coming on the Homegrown Hustle. One question we ask all of our guests is, what does the word hustle mean to them in terms of business? And I've been looking forward to your answer on this one.
Work hustle. Okay, for me, it's more strategy and thought time than actually hands-on work time. Every action has a thought behind it, right? So, and the actions can be measured to whatever degree you want to. And I want that measure to be as high as possible. So more time I take on think time, I can produce more results versus just getting down and dirty on the job. So my business hustle would be to, what am I thinking about? What's my through line of like, hey, if I'm thinking about something, am I taking action on it? And am I seeing it towards the end that it produces a favorable outcome, a favorable result? So my hustle would be going to conferences, connecting with people, looking for knowledge, reading books, listening to podcasts, putting myself around high-level thinkers, because what got me here is not going to get me there. So I'm looking after knowledge in ways and stories and wisdom and experiences on how to do that.
That's why I wanted to have you come on here.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. I'd love to continue this conversation. I know you got to get going. Thanks everybody for watching another episode of Hustle on the Road. Check this man out if you're on the West Coast and you got a home. CalPro Pest Control and CalPro Home Inspection. And yeah, thanks again, Glennon. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks again for joining us on Homegrown Hustle. Our local business community thrives because of the brilliant leaders right here in our backyard. And it's been an absolute privilege to provide them with a platform to share their invaluable expertise. Stay tuned for more insight, wisdom, and inspiration from our local business champions. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Together, we'll continue to nurture and expand our homegrown success stories. Matt Eichmann signing off until our next insightful episode.